All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back. Week 7 ranking shows. This is Fantasy Pro Insider brought to you by True Fan Sports. This week we're gonna change it up a little bit on you guys. We're gonna have two different recordings. First recording we're gonna do week show rankings for week 7 ranking show for QBs, receivers, and tight ends. Then we're gonna give you another show on running backs, kickers, and tight ends. With all that said, I am your host, the Warden Jay Ward, with my co-host here, the guru himself, Dave Hughes. What's up, Hughes? Good to see you again this week, buddy.
Peace, same here, man. Good to see you. I hope you were all able to go to 6-0 or at least close to it. I, for one, did in one league for sure. 5-1 in two others. So I'm rolling, man. I'm having a phenomenal season, man. I'm glad that year is upon us. I am in one league, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in one league. I'm struggling, but the second round pick on Saquon Barkley, and that was a mistake. So
Yeah, man. I'm struggling right now. So myself, I took another L this week. However, a lot of guys in my league took some L's. So I'm 3-3, sitting in second place, just based off my points that I have for fantasy. So I'm looking to bounce back this week, Guru. I need my boys to step up. Not having McCaffrey, you know what I mean, definitely hurts a little bit. But I've plugged some other boys in there that we just came up a little short. But we'll get back on the winning track this week.
yes, indeed. Speaking on the winning track, why don't you go ahead and get us started with the QB rankings?
All righty. All right. So let me pull up the rankings here, week 7. All right, let's get it started, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Week 7 rankings, starting off with QBs, going in and coming in at number 1. They're still undefeated. The only team that's undefeated in the league, Arizona Cardinals. So we're going with Kyler Murray at number 1. Coming in at number 2, he got dethroned for that number 1 spot, even though he's still having a good season. They just haven't looked good as a team. You know what I mean? Still, so they got some work to do. Pat Mahomes coming in at 2. Matthew Stafford coming in at number 3, climbing up the charts again. Another guy climbing up the charts. The GOAT, Tom Brady, coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 5, we're gonna go with the guy who who tells the Bears, your beloved Bears guru, I own you, I effing own you, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, and he does. 22-5, 5 straight wins against the midway monsters of the midway. Aaron Rodgers coming in at 5. At number 6, he continues to rock and roll. That's Lamar Jackson. Coming in at 7, Jalen Hurts with the Eagles. I'm going to put this guy in at the 8th spot. He had a bye week last week, but we like Matt Ryan out of Atlanta. He's got a good matchup against the Dolphins. Coming in at number 9, that's Ryan Tannehill. Looked good in that second half yesterday, that Monday night game. Coming in at number 10, my boys out there in Vegas, Derek Carr. Coming in at number 11, out of Carolina, he's got a good matchup this week against the Giants. That's Sam Darnold. And then coming in at number 12 with the 49ers, he's got a pretty good matchup as well. I like to see this game probably going back and forth with that's the 49ers, Trey Lance, Guru. So that's your top 12. Let's go ahead and finish them off here, Guru.
All right, number 13, we have that Washington football team, Taylor Heineke. They are playing the Packers, and they should be in catch-up mode. Hopefully, they can get their passing game back on track. Number 14, Joe Burrow and the Bengals at the Ravens at Baltimore. Number 15, this was questionable because he may not play this week with a torn labrum or injured labrum. They say Baker Mayfield and the Browns playing at home against the Broncos. Number 16, we have Jared Goff on the Lions at Rams. They should be playing from behind most of that game, I would imagine, in pass mode and frantic. Number 17, Mac Jones of the Patriots, home against the Jets. Number 19, Jameis Winston of the Saints off their bye week, going up to Seattle, take on the Seahawks. Number 20 is Tua Tagovailoa with the Dolphins at home against the Falcons. 21, Zach Wilson against the Jets against the Patriots. Number 22, Tyrod Taylor. He should be back at QB for the Texans this week.
Yeah.
At the Cards, tough matchup for him, but somebody's got to be ranked this week. 23, Justin Fields of the Bears at the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers should put up a lot of points, and the Bears should be in scramble mode as well. 24, Geno Smith of the Seahawks at home against the Saints. And staying with the Saints game, Taysom Hill, the Saints, at the Seahawks. And the reason I bring him into the top 25 rankings is because we have 6 teams this week on a bye. That would be the Bills, the Cowboys, the Chargers, the Vikings, the Jags, and the Steelers. And that's all 6 very fancy relevant quarterbacks, and 4 of them are top flight.
Yeah.
Top 15 quarterbacks in the league. So you got to have somebody in there. And if you are struggling that bad, Taysom Hill, a couple weeks ago, he had 30 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. It's a reach, but you could do a whole lot worse.
True. That is true.
And then we're going to flip the script and move up to the wide receivers. Wide receivers this week. In week 7, we're looking forward to Tyrique Hill being the number 1 guy this week. Things are looking good for them numbers-wise. I know the team itself is struggling, like you mentioned when you were talking about Mahomes, that their team is not doing great as a team, but they are putting up their numbers still. Number 2, Devonte Adams, the Packers, at home against the Washington team. Number 3, trying to make a case to be mentioned in the top. As a big 3 instead of just the big 2. That's Cooper Kupp, man. He is playing like a man possessed this year. Number 4, DeAndre Hopkins had a nice game, nice bounce back for him. He's back up in the top 5. Up in the top 5, we have Calvin Ridley of the Falcons at home against the Dolphins, or at the Dolphins. I'm sorry. That secondary from Miami is giving up some points. Number 6, Deebo Samuel, 49ers at home against the Colts. Number 7, DJ Moore, the Panthers. They're at the Giants. Number 8, we'll get back to string together a couple of nice games, is Terry McLaurin. He struggled last week for Washington. They're playing the Packers. Number 9, Marquis Brown of the Ravens. He's found his way into the top 10. And when we get to the Bengals, and we'll go with Antonio Brown again. Another Brown. What has Brown done for you lately? Actually, he put up 25 points last week is what he did. Antonio did.
Yeah.
When the Bucs tore it up. They are at home against our beloved Bears. That rounds out the top 10.
All righty. Let's see here. We are going to go let me see. I got my rankings mixed up there. Give me 1 second, guys and gals. Where are we? Okay. So now coming in at number 11, we've got Robert Woods out there against Detroit. I'm hoping he has a good game. He's on my fantasy team, so I'm hoping Robert Woods comes through for me. I like Chris Godwin at that number 12 spot, Guru, against the Bears. 13, touchdown machine, Jamar Chase out there in Cincinnati against the Raiders. Coming in at number 14, he had another good second half last night in that Monday night game. That's A.J. Brown of Tennessee. Number 15, Corlyn Sutton out in Denver. 16, DK Metcalf out in Seattle. 17, looking for Julio to do something now. We got him still up there. He's looking, hopefully Tannehill can get him involved in the game a little more. I mean, he's a future Hall of Fame, so he needs to be getting the ball a little bit more. 18, Mike Evans out in Tampa Bay. 19, Jalen Waddell out in Miami. Good to have Tua back. It'll be one of Tua's favorite targets out there this week against the Atlanta Falcons. And then coming in at 20 out in Arizona, that's going to be Christian Kirk. They've got to match up this week against the Texans. So that's your top 20 receivers. Let's keep it going, Guru.
All right, 21, Devonte Smith of the Eagles at the Raiders. The Raiders, and with all their issues last week, they looked really good. Looked like they were glad to put the drama behind them.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They had a nice game. 22, Marquez Gallaudet of the Saints. It doesn't look like Mike Thomas is going to be back this week. He's going to miss a few more games, so Marquez should be the top target for the next few weeks, at least for James Winston. Number 23, Cordell Patterson, Falcons at Dolphins. He's just the ultimate weapon, man. He's just going to keep moving up. He's going to be a must-start top 10 wide receiver if he just keeps maintaining what he's doing. I don't know how, with the volume that he's getting, that he's maintaining these numbers, but he just putting up numbers week after week with limited touch.
Yeah, he is.
And he's talented. He's getting it done.
Yeah, he is.
Number 24, A.J. Green of the Cards, again, and You got Cardinals wide receivers. You have to them in your lineup.
Okay.
The Texans. Speaking of the Texans, number 25, Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
You could actually move him up a few notches in point per reception leagues.
Okay.
Number 26, the Bengals, we have T. Higgins. 27, coming off a real nice game last week. Woo! Called it out for you if you were paying attention. Henry Ruggs III of the Raiders at home against the Eagles. 28, we have Rashad Bateman of the Ravens. He looked pretty good in his debut. Didn't have a ton of numbers, but he was limited on snaps. I think that changes this week, and he's going to be looked his way a lot more. 29, Rondell Moore of the Cards again, home against the Texans. You got to use them if you got them. Number 30, Tim Patrick of the Broncos at the Cleveland Browns. Number 31, Corey Davis of the Jets playing at Patriots. Number 32, another Raider there, Hunter Renfrow, home against the Eagles. Number 33 is Robbie Anderson of the Panthers. Number 34, Jacoby Myers of the Patriots. He looks to be their number one option just by default. And number 35, I'm going to roll with this young man one more time just because I think the talent is there. And that's Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers at home against the Colts.
All righty. Sounds good. Finishing up, 36, Van Jefferson out of Los Angeles Rams. We got a typo I'm going to skip over. We'll come back to the last 50 there. We've got coming in at number, what would that be, 37, Allen Robinson out of Chicago. 38, Tyler Boyd out of Cincinnati. Coming in at number 40, Mecole Hardman out of Kansas City. I'm sorry, that'd be 30, that'd be 39. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, there's 38. We got number 40, Michael Pidman out of Indy. 41, Darnell Mooney out of Chicago. 42, he's back, T.Y. Hilton. Hopefully he can be a number one target for Wentz out of Indy. 43, Sterling Shepard. I think he's going to have a good week this week. Looking to see him bounce back this week. Got a good matchup with Carolina. Number 44, hopefully he plays this week. Right, we'll see. We'll keep an eye out on Odell Beckham out of Cleveland. The same with his counterpart, Jarvis Landry, who should be bouncing back this week. He's coming in at number 45. 47, Randall Cobb out of Green Bay. Number 48, Jameis Crowder out of the Jets football. Number 49, Russell Gage out of Atlanta. And rounding up your top 50 for wide receivers, Kenny Gallaudet out of the New York Football Giants, Guru.
Yeah, I kind of missed the numbers up on you there, but number 50 should be Alan Lazard from the Packers. I put the same player down twice up there and messed that up. Apologize for mixed up on you. But yeah, number 50 is going to be Alan Lazard of the Packers.
Okay.
Week.
Out of Green Bay.
He's due. Yeah, out of Green Bay. I think he's due. And they're playing Washington team that their front seven is still pretty good, but they can be thrown on. Their secondary is a little suspect. So
they are.
Hopefully they can get to him and if he can take over for Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's been on the IR for the last few weeks. I think Lazard steps up this week.
All right, well, let's keep this going then. We've got tight ends coming up next now. Coming up at the number one spot, Travis Kelsey out of Kansas City. Number 2, we moved up a spot, took over my boy in Vegas. Number 2, that's Mark Andrews out of Baltimore. Sliding down one spot, Darren Waller out of Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry. Number 4, Noah Fant out of Denver. Number 5 got traded this week, Zach Ertz out of Arizona. So he should be inserted into that lineup. He'll be a guy that he could be a guy for Kyler Murray to have when he's not looking at Hopkins or AJ Green out there or Kirk. Number 7, we've got Rob Gruffkowski. He should be back this week out of Tampa Bay. I'm sure Brady's glad to have him back, but they're just a touchdown machine out there in Tampa Bay. Number 8, Mike Gesicki out of Miami Dolphins. Dallas Goedert coming in at number 9 with the Eagles. and T.J. Hawkinson coming in at that number 10 spot out of the Detroit Lions, Guru.
And then I don't know if it came through the teleprompter there, but number 6, Kyle Pitts.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I missed my boy Kyle Pitts out of Atlanta. Sorry about that, Matt Ryan.
Technical issues, some technical issues. Those teleprompters don't always work right.
Let me fix my screen.
Just another side note there for the tight ends. George Kittle was doubtful and did not play this past week. Again, listed as doubtful this week, but they're hopeful that he can hit the field. If George Kittle is playing, he's a top 5 tight end. So just keep that in mind towards the end of the week when Sunday rolls through, and we need to know if George Kittle's going to play. If he is, bump him into the top 5. Getting back to the final 10 here, we're with Hunter Henry. Number 11 for the Patriots. He's playing at home against the Jets. 12 is Tyler Higbee of the Rams at home against the Lions. Number 13, Ricky Seals-Jones of the Washington team at the Packers. Number 14, Anthony Fisker. He seems to be a new, not favorite target, but it seems like a dependable target there for Ryan Tannehill of the Titans. They're home against the Chiefs. Number 10 for the Broncos, David Njoku. I'm sorry, Njoku.
15, yes, that's 15 there.
15, Anthony Njoku. Okay. Number 16 will be Austin Hooper of the Browns at home against the Broncos. Both of those fellas play for the Browns. All right. 17, Noelle Cox of the Colts at the 49ers. Number 18, a guy that's kind of disappearing just a little bit this year.
Yeah, he is.
This year, that's Jonnu Smith. That could be something to do with Hunter Henry being there. They only key on one tight end, it seems. But Jonnu Smith, 18 against the Patriots at home against the Jets. Number 19, the Giants, Evan Ingram. Their offense is not doing well. But hopefully they can get that going. And number 20, I don't know why I still list this guy because he's in that Green Bay offense. But Robert Tanyan, the Packers, he's not living up to expectations. He was a 700-800-yard receiver last year with 8 touchdowns, I believe. I believe he's only got 1 in the season this year, and I don't think he's got more than 2 receptions in any game. So that trend keeps up. He'll be out of the rankings in no time at all. And don't worry, though, about Darren Waller. I still think he's the second best tight end in the league. I just think that this Mark Andrews, he's on a hot streak right now, playing the Bengals, who's got a secondary. I just think for this week, I think Mark Andrews continues that hot streak. And but if I'm taking one guy for the rest of the year, and I got to pick between Andrews and Waller, I'm taking Darren Waller every time. So, the kid's that kind of talented for sure. Okay, well, let's jump back to the quarterbacks for a minute, seeing that we have so many on a bye. Anybody jump out at you that can cover up for somebody that if you have if you have Josh Allen, if you have Dak Prescott, who would you look to replace them this week?
Well, with Josh Allen out, with Dak Prescott out, if you haven't grabbed him off the waivers yet, I think Daniel Jones is going to have a good week this week against the Carolina Panthers. He's at home this week with Gallaudet and Shepard out there. I think he's going to have a good week. And then I'm going to take one more guy. He had a good week coming back off the injury. Let's see if he can put it back together for 2 weeks straight. He'll be at home against Atlanta this week, and that's Tua. You know what I mean? Tua threw for over 300-something yards with a couple of tutties. So he's a guy that if he's out there on the waiver, he's a guy you probably want to insert in your lineups if you get a couple of guys out this week because of the bye week.
Yeah, very good. Very good there. I would hope that Matt Ryan, the play that he's showed the last few weeks, would be rostered by now. But if he's out there playing at the Dolphins, it's been 3 weeks in a row that opposing quarterbacks have kind of taken them to task, including the GOAT uh, 2 weeks ago. He just destroyed him.
Okay.
That and I think Mac Jones of the Patriots against the Jets. Jets are very suspect defensively in the secondary. Maybe you should come out of retirement there, Warden. All these teams have been bad secondaries, man. Maybe you got a new second career ahead of you.
Oh man, I wish I could. If I was able to move a little laterally still, you know what I mean. I can cover you, you know what I mean, deep. I could probably still cover that deep ball, but the minute you give me a stop and go, or you go across the middle, I'll just be watching you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, somebody go get him over there. Okay.
Help,
Yeah.
defense.
I'm not moving right. I'm not moving right to left that good anymore, Guru.
I feel you. Okay, then I guess you got any sleeping running backs for wide receivers for us this week? Anybody down towards the bottom of the rankings?
Well, I did say earlier I do like Sterling Shepard. I do like him out of New York this week. I'm in New York this week. He's a guy I'm looking to put in the lineup. You and I talked over the weekend, Guru, about Indy. It looks like Ty may start taking some reps off of some reps off some Michael Pidman Jr. there. So Ty is the guy you want to look at your lineup right now. I got him on my bench right now, so I'll do some little homework this week. See if he wants.
That might have been before the other. There was another injury there in Indianapolis, so he may avoid getting the targets taken from him for the time being.
Yeah.
With T.Y. Hilton back, it should cut into everybody's production, except for obviously Carson Wentz, who should be who should do well this week.
He should. What about you?
And I think I'm going Corey Davis to the Jets at the Patriots. I think he's due for a big game. He hasn't had a decent game in a couple of weeks now, and I know he was off last week. Kind of hard to have a good game on your bye, but I think he's due. He'll step up this week and look for. I know he's not exactly a sleeper, but I think coming off of his issues where he didn't travel overseas and he's missed a game, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna emerge. He's a top 10 talent at wide receiver, and he just hasn't played that way this year. I think that changes this week. So if you've got a little gun shy on Ridley, I think you can take that away, and he should be good to go.
Okay, sounds good. Well, that wraps up Week 7 ranking show of your QBs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick minute break here, and we'll be right back. Fantasy Pro Insider brought to you by True Fan Sports. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll give you the running backs, kickers, and defense special teams. Again, I'm the Warden with the co-host Guru. Stay tuned. Just sit by your don't go too far away. We'll be right back with the next rankings.
All right.